want to fight little dirt. You super loud.
Breaking news, it looks like Bill Haney has been approved an emergency last-minute visa, so he will be able to hopefully attend his son's fight, the biggest fight of his son's life, Devin Haney in Australia. Wow. Boom. You never know. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. I got some great news. This is big. This is huge. It is now being reported that Bill Haney has been pardoned, offered some sort of clemency, if you will, and he is now eligible to fly, and they're trying to get him on a last-minute flight to Australia so he can make it Sunday, Australia time, to be there for his son, watch his son fight George Kambosos, undisputed. ESPN, it's about to go down. Boxing scene, link in the description. Bill Haney granted 11th hour approval for a travel visa. Wow. Devin Haney will have his greatest supporter by his side after all. BoxingScene.com has confirmed Bill Haney, Devin's father, head trainer, and manager, was granted a travel visa, which will allow him to travel abroad to Melbourne, Australia. The 11th hour development leaves a tight window of opportunity, though efforts are being made to secure a flight for the elder Haney to arrive in Australia by Sunday morning in time for Devin Haney's undisputed lightweight championship clash with Sydney's George Kambosos Jr. The bout takes place early Sunday afternoon, local time, Marvel Stadium, Melbourne, Australia. ESPN will televise that card, yada, yada. Las Vegas is Haney, undefeated, 27-0, 15 knockouts, puts his WBC title on the line against Kambosos, defending the lineal WBA, IBF, WBO championship for the first time, first ever title defense. The 23-year-old Haney was forced to leave his father behind upon making the trip to Melbourne more than 2 weeks ago. So Devin Haney has been in Melbourne in Australia acclimating, which is smart because you don't want to go abroad and you're not acclimated to the different time zone. Devin Haney is I'm in California right now, and Devin Haney is oftentimes, or at least his residence, is in Las Vegas. So that's the same time code, the Pacific Standard Time, PST. And Australia, they're putting this fight on in Australia at morning time. I think they're called breakfast in boxing or something like that. And they're doing it morning time for Australians just so it can be on at prime time for the rest of the world, or in America, basically. And this is similar to what they did to hit that US market that they so heavily want, that they basically want this fight to peak during primetime American hours, which would be Saturday night. That's the go-to time for boxing. So that's what they're doing. They're doing it and inconveniencing the Australian hometown fans so they can have this fight air on prime time, US time. This is a very interesting development. It says Devin Haney has been there for 2 weeks. Bill Haney fully intended to travel with his son, only to learn at the time that his visa status was not yet approved. His application was held up due to a review of his drug conviction from nearly 30 years ago, for which he served more than a year in prison. Australia visa rules state that felons who have served 12 months or more in prison are ineligible to qualify for an ETA, Electronic Travel Authority, or e-visitor visa required for short-term visits. Bill Haney stated in advance his past criminal record in hopes of avoiding this scenario, though the issue remained unresolved until late Thursday evening Pacific time. A contingency plan was already in place in the event that Bill Haney was unable to make the trip. Yoel Judah, Bill's mentor and close family friend, was tabbed to lead Devin Haney's corner for the biggest fight of his career to date. There is now a chance that Bill Haney will arrive in the country in time to coach his son in a bid to become the youngest undisputed champion in the 4-belt era by Jake Donovan. Again, link in the description. Wow. Now, just because some people may doubt this, and even though I supplied you the link, Devin Haney on his verified social media has responded to this. And he says, Allah doesn't make mistakes. So you guys see it. And this was another boxing reporter saying Devin Haney's father, trainer Bill Haney, has reportedly now been granted last-minute visa to travel to Australia. It's claimed efforts are being made to get him a flight so he can coach his son for the Kambosos fight. So Devin Haney wouldn't, on his verified page, be retweeting that and saying God doesn't make mistakes, Allah doesn't make mistakes, if it weren't true. Now, everything is still up in the air based on the time zone. Devin Haney is not fully in the clear, and this is almost like a movie. It's almost like a movie. And to me, I really and truly believe it was the efforts of my channel, as well as concerned boxing fans and others who publicly spoke out that this was some BS from the Australian government, right? If Bill Haney had declared his 30-year-old sentence where he served a year or whatever it said, then they had full knowledge and this could have all been thwarted and avoided. Like if he couldn't go from the beginning, that would possibly change maybe even Devin Haney taking the deal. So I've always maintained that this felt like a setup. It really did. It felt like a setup. Like they were trying to, even Devin Haney said this in the final press conference that they just ran. He said they're doing everything in their power to make it hard and complex and put me at a disadvantage, but I'm here to realize my dream and the dream of my team and the dream of my dad, etc. I actually heard about something else, which was another unrelated issue. And they were saying the cut man of Devin Haney had been cornered and was having visa issues as well. So to me, this looks strategic. And you can't tell me, oh, it's just because when I made the first videos and I was talking about how this was no bueno, right? I made videos and some people are like, oh, fair is fair. He has a conviction. And they're like, oh, that's his fault because of his past. And if we're going to be a stickler for the rules, I already included, see, some of you guys aren't paying attention. Mark Wahlberg has a felony conviction as well from a long time ago, the 80s, 90s, or whenever it happened. I cited all my sources, showed you articles. He tried to get the conviction expunged after he made it and, became a rapper, became a popular actor, and he wanted that off his record. So how is he able to film movies and vacation and travel to Australia if we're just being a stickler for the rules? Somebody had to pull some strings and omit or overlook Mark Wahlberg's past. Marky Mark, feel the vibration. Come on. Feel it. So you can't tell me that they can't do anything and they weren't able to do anything for Bill Haney. Keep it consistent. And that's just one name. Martha Stewart, she has a conviction. Martha Stewart has a conviction, and I know she's been in Australia as well. So I think this whole thing was a setup. I think they're trying to make it last forever, like Keith Sweat said, and they want George Kambosos to win. And Devin Haney is the favorite in this particular fight. I know that Kambosos, he's saying he's the emperor and the king and, it's his kingdom and all this other stuff, but he's the underdog. He said he was the top dog. He's the underdog in this equation. So I think this is a bit of insecurity in Australia where they're not confident that this great fighter, skilled fighter, Devin Haney, who's willing to travel and all that, will lose. So they try to make the road complex, but God don't make mistakes, and it looks like it got resolved. But I still think it's BS because I think this issue could have been resolved a long time ago, and it didn't even have to escalate to this. And there's still no guarantee that he gets there in time because it's last minute. He has to pack and, go through security and TSA and, those kind of things. Let me know what you guys think. I will keep you guys updated. Hopefully he's reunited with his son. he's probably going to miss the weigh-in because the weigh-in should be in a few hours or so. So I can imagine he'll miss that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. Breaking news. Subscribe to the channel. Devin Haney reunited with his father. Fingers crossed. Let's go. And I'm out. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxing Ego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new interactive and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation.